Hi everyone. Now that we have a better understanding of the term ESG, let us look at one of the key questions that organizations are debating on a daily basis. Whether ESG disclosures are mandatory or can organizations also look at them on a voluntary basis. The case for mandatory disclosures is without any debate. Large listed companies globally are being mandated by regulatory bodies to disclose their carbon and wider ESG data in line with their own proposals or by adopting recommendations of existing global standards and frameworks. In India, for example, from financial year 2022-23, the Securities and Exchange Board of India has mandated top 1,000 listed companies by market capitalization to prepare and disclose a comprehensive ESG data as part of the business responsibility and sustainability reporting. This represents a 10x increase in the coverage of the regulation from erstwhile business responsibility reporting, which was introduced in 2012, to the current version, where all 1,000 companies and are now within the remit of the mandatory disclosure requirement. Similarly, overseas, other governments like the UK are mandating large organizations to disclose climate and wider ESG data using other frameworks like the Task Force for Climate Related Financial Disclosures or TCFD. In Europe and a lot of other jurisdictions, similar regulatory mandates are being introduced to cover ESG and wider carbon related information to be disclosed as part of upcoming mandatory regulations. Non financial bodies, for example, the International Sustainability Standards Board or ISSB, have also been set up very recently to develop global and consistent standards and approach to disclosing wider ESG data for organizations across industry sectors. Going forward, we believe there will be a significant increase in companies falling under the remit of new regulations being introduced to mandatory disclose ESG data for the benefit of various business stakeholders outside of the traditional focus on shareholders. Thus, companies that fall within the remit of these regulations have no option but to start disclosing ESG data on a mandatory basis. The case for voluntary disclosure is also there. There are multiple benefits and business advantages for organizations to proactively look at ESG aspects of their operations and consider ESG disclosures on a voluntary basis. Through voluntary disclosures, impact and wider sustainability focused credentials can be outlined and marketed to help increase brand awareness and reputation amongst the current markets and to create a differentiation versus existing peers. Assessing risks and opportunities can help companies identify areas for launching more sustainable and ESG aligned products and services to tap into the growing market. Voluntary ESG disclosures can help companies show improved ESG performance and impact over time, in turn, helping them access a more responsible pool of capital and also potentially reducing the cost of capital to further advance their organization's sustainability journey. Proactive ESG disclosures can help in also attracting a wider pool of talent and workforce, and more importantly, keep them motivated to ensure adequate employee retention. Lastly, voluntary ESG disclosures can help in improved stakeholder engagement through increased transparency and accountability. Thus, as we've seen, there is a clear case for organizations to consider ESG aspects on a voluntary and a proactive basis. We will learn more about using the focus on ESG and wider sustainability aspects as a value creation mechanism and tool in the later part of the course. To summarize the key question of for organizations that are not already covered by current or upcoming mandatory disclosure regulations, it is a recommendation that they start their journey of looking at ESG aspects of their end to end business operations on a proactive and a voluntary basis right away. Thank you.